Yeah. So I had a vision. You hear me? I had a vision. And in this vision, I was picturing the meaning of vision. Not that type where you think you get some revelation coming out from somewhere out in the universe. And no, not that. Like, actually, a vision of what a person who becomes the president of a country like Nigeria, considering the situation over here over in Nigeria, obviously, how that can be turned around so that 200 million people can have a better life than what they have today. Clean environment, clean air, good schools, hospitals, food, quality, everything. It's not just in the resources and the money, it's in the vision as well. But it's not just that vision, it's the willingness to take a bold step. I guess our president right now, President Muhammad Buhari, he has good intentions. I like his vice president as well. They got good intentions. But that good nature self of them and those good intentions still does not translate to everyone being inclusive. I mean, of course, it's not their fault. It's just the twisted nature of our corrupt mind. All of us, me inclusive. I mean, we're all Nigerians, so we have to accept it. Just like the time that the FBI captured about 77 Nigerians, and instead of us finding a long lasting solution to how we can make our country great and earn back that respect from the international community, we started throwing words at each other because over 90% or almost 90% of those 77 to 80 people that were arrested were from one region in the country. So they've been thrown insults and things like, oh, because they are from the Igbo land, of course, let's just call a spade, and because the Igbos were protesting to get their own country, independent people of Biafra, IPOB. And you know how that story went before this FBI raid thing happened. Excuse me. You see, it is wrong for us to keep hating on one another. We've been doing it for like how long now? Nigeria got her independence 1st of October 1960. India got hers in 1957. Matter of fact, we negotiated all that and became an independent country from 57, only that it was officially handed over 3 years later, which means it was on the same level with India. But we can't compare to India. First of all, it's a nuclear power. Second of all, it's one of the spacefaring civilizations in this country. Just yesterday or the day before, they just landed a rover on the moon, and they're doing great stuff for their people. And they're like almost, yeah, about 4 times more people or 5 times more people in India than there is in Nigeria. And I'm thinking that they usually want to get resources from us to do the things they're doing, just like everyone else in the world. We got everything. We've got everything. We've got the oil, we've got gas. I just found out this morning that in our gas reserve we have over 192 trillion cubic feet or cubic meters. I think it's one of them. So we're like the 10th or the 11th largest reserve of natural gas in the world. We're like the 5th or the 6th largest exporters of crude oil in the world. We are a member of the OPEC. We have 774 local governments. Let me give you numbers so that you can understand what I will say after this. 774 local governments in 36 states and the federal capital, Abuja. Every single local government in Nigeria is sitting on solid mineral. We're not even talking about the gas and the crude oil that's supposedly down south. I mean, we just discovered that we got enough up north as well. We're not even talking about them now. But all eyes are on there. All minds are thinking a quick overnight success. The ones who lay back and feel cool about themselves and everything, they are the connected ones. So sometimes somebody gets so arrogant because they made so much quick money that maybe someone will overnight come up with a deal, a contract, brings out a foreign company, they sell the deal through him, and then maybe they get a percentage or something, and then he comes out overnight. Today he probably didn't even have 1,000 naira. The next day he wakes up with $10 million or $20 million or even more. But then the arrogance, and then when he sees the ones who haven't made it, he talks down on them like he is better than them. The only thing you're better at than them is that connection that you've got. So don't use that to judge how you think you are better than most of Nigerians. So anyway, let's kind of slow down a bit, reverse back to what I started with about the FBI arrest of Nigerians and how we Nigerians were dealing with that situation. So okay, they started all that thing. Nnamdi Kanu or whatever his name comes in here, left his kids up in the UK, and then just decided to come up and make other Igbos die for a cause that he made them believe in him as like the next Ojukwu general. Rest in peace. I mean, it doesn't matter what hatred we've got. You see me, I don't got no hate for any one side of Nigeria. And if anyone wants me to do that and choose to be on their side and start dissing other people, then they got another thinking coming, because it ain't never gonna happen. But anyway, so they want Biafra. So they were doing all that shit, and people were killing people over there. They would kill the houses up there, and when the Muslims and Christians are fighting, killings. It's like if we don't kill, we feel completely fucked that we must kill to be alright. Then the FBI came and strike in the US and captured 77. What did we do? Okay, most of them are from that same region where they want Biafra. But the FBI didn't say, oh, we captured 77 Biafrans. We captured 77 Nigerians. If you think you call yourself a Nigerian, then you should stop with the dissing of them. Okay, they did what they did. It's done. It's in the past. So you cussing them. Does that change the situation? Does it change the fact that we have over 20 million Almajiri kids between the ages of 4 and 10 on the streets of northern Nigeria suffering because their parents have turned their back on them? Does it change the fact that because we have such a dinosaur era educational system in this country that people are, even when they try and they make, I mean, it's not either it's the north or the south or Muslims or Christians, it's every Nigerian is going through these things that I'm telling you. You go spend all your lifetime, do your education and all that stuff, master degree, everything, secondary, primary, probably nursery school and everything. And you got a master degree in some science stuff, and you can only get a job as a security at somebody's gate or as a parking attendant. Do you know how many parking attendants when Abuja was doing this parking attendant thing? Obviously they did it for their little scheme, because as soon as the last minister went off, FCT minister, that's it, the whole thing stopped. But look at the amount of money that was generated. And every time these guys were being paid like 15, 20, 25,000 max a month. That's like, fuck. That's just a little over $50 a month. Like seriously. So, with all these resources. The whole world, if you talk about aerospace, all the aerospace quality materials that is needed to make all the satellites, all the rocket propulsion, all these things, India, US, NASA, European Space Agency, everybody wants this quality thing. We need titanium. Titanium is expensive, platinum, everything. We got unbelievable amount of it in this Nigeria. We know that. So, and yet, you know what? Before I even go to the yet part of the story, let me tell you something else. Power generation. Everywhere you go, all the Western world, all the Arab world, everywhere, the Far East, everybody's got guaranteed uninterrupted electricity. 24/7, 365 a year. Since 1960 till date, right now the highest production of electricity in Nigeria is about 7,500 megawatts, which means, don't think because we got 7,500 megawatts, it means that that's what we're actually getting. We're not even getting that. We're getting about half of that. About half of that. 3,500, 4,000 megawatts out of the fact that we got a capacity to even produce 7,500. Do you know why? Because even with that high rate, we've got power generating companies generating about 8,000 megawatts. But our national grid only has the capacity to take about 4,000. I was reading this morning in a newspaper here about Saudi Arabia with their 32 million population generating 75,000 megawatts, and now they are trying to increase the capacity to 150,000 megawatts in the next couple of years. And now their primary mission is to make sure by the year 2030 that they've got like in the gigawatt era. Now they want to enter that level. 7,500 megawatts. We're only using 4,000. So you can understand why this power outage, some people experience a month to 3 months of no electric power. So just because you're living in Abuja or some state capitals, don't mean that even if you think you're suffering that, no power, I'm always this blasting as there's over 150 million generators. You see, you have to think about these things. There's a reason why we have not got this uninterrupted power. The supposed powers that be in Nigeria, really fucked up people, really fucked up human beings. They are so evil, it's completely unbelievable, and they forget that this evil is actually affecting them. And I'll tell you about this evil. 150 million generators, some of them are massive. There's so much of them that the Western world's got their headquarters for the production of electricity generators, for manufacturing of those generators in Nigeria. Things like Meccano, Perkins, which is US or UK, something like Caterpillar, and then all the other ones, including the smaller ones, Yamahas and all, and they call them, there's a nickname for them. I pass my neighbor. We even gullible. Wow, we're gullible. We really are. So I pass my neighbor. In essence, it's saying that there's a type of generator. It's so small that at least the one that's the cheapest, and once you can afford it, there are people who can't even afford a generator. So they nicknamed it, I am better than my neighbor. Like, seriously, are you thinking about what the fuck you're saying to yourselves? So FBI did that. But they never said Biafra. They said Nigeria. Should we stop with the hate and stop with the, you're a Christian, you're Igbo, you've been fucking up, you said you want to do, you want your own country, yeah? Yeah, so now you go America, and now they fucked you up. So yeah, you should just go. You should go. Americans don't give a fuck. If they did, they would be saying, "Oh, we captured Biafrans." They said we captured Nigerians. So forget all that. We already know this, and forget also the fact that there is so much resources in this country because we already know we got everything to make Nigeria the greatest nation on the planet. If there's vision, of course there's vision. All right, so I'll tell you this. Like me, I'll say to myself, if I become, and I'm not, I know why I'm not going to, if I ever become the president of Nigeria, you might hate me, but you will love me. You know what? I don't need you to love me actually, but I'm just saying that you will think you love me. And really and truly, it's just deceiving yourself. Because what I'm going to do is, if I don't have the talents to do exact capacity as the best in the world is doing, I still know it in the back of my mind that I've got the dough. Not me, it's not mine, it's my country's money. And there's a lot of it. And then there's negotiation skill. Everybody in the world knows that if they add Nigeria into their portfolio, it enriches them. And so they like that. Even though they keep hearing Nigerian scam. You know, people are afraid of Nigerians and yet they want to deal with Nigerians. If they can find a way to sneak around and get what they need to get, they will. They know that one's... Okay. How many times do you think that I speak with people on a foreign country and I think some of them are expecting that I've got some general there, there's some $25 to $100 million thing that I'm going to send some emails and, you know, it's a general thing. We are all branded with that same thing. Not the Evos, not some certain individuals when you hear Yahoo and all that. It's all us. So, there was a time that I was speaking about this kind of thing with my friend. There's a friend that always asks a nasty question and I'll give him the answer like I will give everybody else. So his question was this. Okay, so if you become the president of Nigeria, what would be the first thing you would do? Plus, he said, you know, there's nobody that can fix Nigeria. It's too difficult. People argued with me over it. People wanted to fight me when I told them that it can be fixed. No, we cannot. Oh, you know, we cannot be like Americans or the British. Oh, they are far away. I said, are they not on the planet Earth? Are they not fucking human beings? Did they not do it? Where did they get their knowledge from? Did it come like some divine fallen angel come up and give them that shit and refuse to give you? Because you're what? The damned of the damned? No, we are all human beings. And if we don't get that knowledge here, we can pay for it. You can buy intellectual property as well. People are willing to sell all kinds of stuff, including what's in their mind. You just got to know what you need to pay for and how it needs to work. You need to analyze everything. You don't just come, oh, it looks so shiny and cool. Pay for it. Boom. Okay, and give me 30% cut out of it, you know. Oh, how much is it? $1,000? All right, I'm gonna write $1 million. So 999,000 comes to my pocket, and I need 30% of that $1,000. Fucking hell, man. That's how it is. So everybody gets in on it. People will be complaining, oh, the presidency, all our politicians, all this, all that. They are eating all they're so corrupt. We all are so fucking corrupt. I'll tell you that. Because there's none of us that will get into that position that will nothing. The last guy did. Why shouldn't I? Why do you think that? I mean, where in the world do you see a politician wins the election and then in his yard or around his clique, they are celebrating like, as soon as you see it, you already know what's going to happen. Yeah, now our person is in there. Connection has just been created. If you go other places, of course they celebrate, oh, congratulations, because this is a hope. He is going to fix something, or she. But in Nigeria, it's a different game. You see me, the first thing, so I answered my friend, the first thing I'm going to do if I become the president of this Nigeria is I'm going to build a lot of prisons. Yep, you heard me. I'll build a lot of prisons. But I'm not just gonna build any muddy ass prison like what we've got now, where you pack up like 1 million people in one little room and then all kinds of, you can't even call that food because it's not even fit for animals. Like the kind of thing you give to the prisons here, the sanitation, the whole damn thing. I'm gonna build a world class prison, a lot of them. Be clean, you'll be nice, and I'm not gonna pack more than 2 people per cell. And you're gonna have a clean toilet, everything. But you see, all the inmates are gonna have a job assigned to them. You committed a crime and you've been sentenced to prison, you must pay for that crime. It doesn't mean that you come up and sit down and be feeding your ass every day. We'll feed you nice. And you won't see people that are sick in prison like my friend IG Walla that has been abandoned in the prison by the government because he was exposing corruption. My name is Harun Ahmed Amin, and I'm talking about what is going on. If I'm gonna be held down because of what I just said about my friend IG Walla, so be fucking it. You're just proving to everybody exactly how fucked up and destructive we all are, including me. Prisons. And there's gonna be a lot of people in there, man. And all these police stations. Do you know what? Everything needs to be completely overhauled. Every government agency. And then we need to use technology. You see, I have this dream. Not like Martin Luther King Jr., although his is really awesome. Like, yeah, but for Nigeria, it's a different ballgame. It's a completely different dynamics. With technology, Nigeria can be fixed. Once you restrict, you put it the right way. You know, people just come up and buy things and say, oh, we want security stuff, we want something to stop people fingerprint. All right, the worst thing is that you got biometric. We got huge amount of data, biometric data in this country. You want to go for mobile phone registration? You must provide damn biometric. Driver's license? You must provide. Now, even the exams that you must take to go to the university, like what they call the JAM, you have to put on your biometrics. It's everything. Bank account, biometric passport, of course, biometrics and everything. But the problem with this is there is no unification. You need a system that connects all systems to it. And you need certain way of control. Policeman can take a person's data, but then he doesn't have the right to edit it or change it or delete it. So we've got so much paperwork and everything when we are in the 21st century digital era. Anyways, do you know what? Yeah, we got a big problem. If I'm the president of this country, damn, I'm gonna fuck people up. A lot of them. Next generation would be glad I did, because then they would have a better world. My children, your children, all our children. Of course we love our children, don't we? Yes, we do. So wouldn't you want a better world for your children? Every time you ask this question, you always say that. So would you also want better life for your children if it comes at the price of fucking you up because we're all fucking corrupt and twisted? The president's got good intentions. His vice president got good intentions. I think so far so good. That's the only two that I can say. And me, I don't care who you are, Muslim or Christian or atheist, from the north or from the south. If you got the ability to take a bold step and you have vision and you're doing it for everyone, you got 100% of my support and my vote. But our hatred has stopped us from seeing the light. We're busy putting our heads up our ass. Now those kids on the streets, they're still there. 10 years from now, the ones that are 4 to 10 years old, you already know how old they will be. But then they don't have any education. They have no opportunity, no one to be there for them, no one to help them anything. They have to survive through the means that some people in the politicians take kids and go and kill them and use them for ritual just so they can win the next election, hold on position. Who the fuck is giving you these ideas. It's not from your fucking yard. It's not your family's thing. The country does not belong to any one individual or any one group. It belongs to everybody. But now we make it look like it's permanently ours. Or as soon as I'm done, I'll make sure as I'm in there, I'm spending all our money to bring in my own people. So when I get out, it's always my... Nobody gives a fuck about it. But people are so fucking twisted, and I hate that hypocrisy where it's posters. You know, in the election, the campaign, that's the worst part. There ain't even any law about how you place posters. I've seen other countries, you don't just pop up papers all over the wall, the pavement, everyone make the whole country fucking look dirty. There's a way for everything. There's a rule, there's something, guideline thing. Follow that shit. Believe me, I know after learning and seeing everything else on the other side of the world, and the fact that we got more dough in this Nigeria than most of the countries in this world. Even our crude oil is tastier. They call it the sweet crude. Go check it out. The Brent sweet. Sweet. We're the only ones. So all the leaded and unleaded petrol from all the people's cars and everything. Oh, and we better stop doing that shit because the whole world has started switching to electric vehicle. Tesla's there. France's, the Macron guy has already signed up by the year 2030 or so. They're going to stop using any vehicle that uses diesel and petrol. UK's joined in. Some America, people, Western world is doing that now. 2030 is like 11 years from now. So if we don't do something about our crude oil and how we can use the money and put it, look at what Dubai did. The guy had a vision. He knew that by the year 2040, all their oil reserve in Abu Dhabi was going to be the Arab Emirates. Damn it, man. UAE. It was going to be finished. So now everybody in the whole world wants to be in Dubai. Vision and willingness to take a bold step is all that it takes. Today, I don't know how long I've been on this, but I'm tired. You already know who I am. Today is one of those days that I'm not even going to call my name. If you don't know me by now, you'll never know me. And if you don't know me, that means you don't know that this is one person that once becomes a president for Nigeria. He's got that idea that will fuck you up. Seriously, it will fuck you up. You know why it will fuck you up? It's not because I intentionally want to get in there and start using power to start fucking people up. No, because I am going to go with the status quo. I am going to think about the future of our country and the children of our country. I don't care about if it's the children of my enemy or the children of someone I hate. Since I'm already doing the hating as a Nigerian in present day world, it means we are making the biggest mistake of our lives. And everybody will say to you that they want their children to have a better world. Now, the ones who have stolen so much money can afford to send their children out to other countries in the world, buy properties over there. They can't even have the guts. You hear people stealing billions, trillions of naira, and they take it out to UK, US, France, everywhere, put properties, businesses over there, employ the other ones. I got no hate for nobody in other countries in the world, but come on, seriously, man, there are people suffering in our country, and there's 200 million of them in all race, class, belief system, faith system. There's 350 languages in Nigeria in 533 ethnic groups. Damn! How many Nigerians can count up to 20 languages? And we got 350. I don't think I could do up to more than 10, maybe. If I try 10, that's a big number. But believe me, not everybody can do more than 20. No matter how good you think you know your country. And that's the statistics right there. Now, the modern world's got things to do with power generation that's gonna ensure and guarantee 24/7 electricity without even the CO2 emission. I mean, that's way past the level of what we're thinking in here. People over there thinking of climate control. The planet's getting warmer. Ice caps are melting. The ozone layer, okay, maybe it's starting to fix this up now, but the whole planet is heating up. It's not good. All the insecticides, so much of it that will blow for the mosquitoes we kills got that CFC chemical, and it's the mad one. That's how the ozone layer started going up. I think they've started controlling that. But then, got so much emission, so much. I mean, it's not we Nigerians are doing all the emission. I mean, I'm saying the whole world. America is the biggest emitter of CO2. Like, but man, we can stop. We can save our planet. Because if we don't, there ain't gonna be nothing for our kids. And if you say you care about them, seriously, you don't. You don't. You don't. You gotta think. Nobody wants to be the one to say, okay, I'm not gonna take out a cut out of that deal, even though I have the right, I'm right there and I'm there. Come on, this opportunity, one time thing, it just came in. You think I'm gonna let it? Nobody's got the guts to say no. Tomorrow, you see them on the Sundays and the churches, on Fridays and the mosque. And then once a year or so, you see them in Jerusalem or Saudi Arabia going for pilgrimage, sending and thanking the Creator and praying that He gives them the will to be good. Then they come back and business as usual again. If we can't call a spade, then we'll forever lead ourselves into destruction. If you hate me for what I just said right there, then you're just proving to yourself that it's because I was right and we're going it the wrong way. I'm not excluding myself from this shit, you know. If I'm a Nigerian, look, if the FBI is going to say Nigerian, that should give you enough sense of reasoning. We're all in this together. We gotta stop with the hate and wake the fuck up. As I said, if you don't like it, you might as well come in and grab a bite off my face. Like, let me know that you truly hate me. And then I'll know how to deal with my enemies, you know. Because I'll come blasting. So, I think that's enough for today, but let's see if we can think. I don't, you know what, do what you gotta do, you know. Do what you gotta do. But you know this is true. You know this is true.